Let me tell you something. When I pulled up that dusty gravel driveway, expecting the usual peace and quiet, the clink of Herb's wrench on the irrigation line, the distant low of cattle, the windmill spinning like it's got nowhere else to be, I sure as hell wasn't expecting to be flagged down like I just missed the apocalypse. There was Herb himself, waving his arms, looking like someone just told him Christmas got canceled. And all he says is, something's wrong out by the southern tree line. You're not going to like it. Didn't even bother with hello. Now, Herb's not the type to raise a fuss unless something's actually burning. So I figure, all right, maybe a tree came down or those damn high schoolers are back with their four-wheelers, tearing ruts. But he's got that look, the one that says something's gone seriously sideways. He tugs at his cap, squints at the sun, and says, there's a damn warehouse out there. Big metal thing. Driveway lights, looks like it dropped out of the sky. Honest to God, I laughed. Thought maybe he'd clocked his head on the tractor canopy again. But curiosity's got teeth, so I drop my bag, stomp through the mudroom, and make a beeline for the south pasture because this is my land, every inch of it. I know the way the ground dips, the smell of the pecans at dusk. But when I turn the corner, I just stop dead. There's this gleaming, corrugated metal building, just sitting there like it's always belonged. 40 by 60, easy. Chain link fence, floodlights on portable poles, even a porta potty in the corner like it's some legitimate job site. Then I see the sign, big letters, bolted right to the gate. Property of HOA Woodridge Summit Storage Unit 2. Private access only. Trespassers will be prosecuted. My name's not on that sign, but my name is on the deed to every inch of ground from the highway clear down to that tree line. And this tin can is sitting a good 40 feet past where their HOA boundaries supposed to stop. I know, because I've measured it, counted the fence posts, walked the line with my old man back when he could still walk straight. I stand there staring, praying it's a prank or a mirage. But then I see fresh tire tracks, grass crushed, dirt churned up. Somebody didn't just drop this thing out of the sky. They drove it in, and nobody asked me a damn thing. So I don't wait. I climb back in the truck and head straight for the sheriff's office. Sheriff Bell, old friend, fished in my creek more than I have, sits me down, listens while I spill the whole story. I pull up satellite images, hand him my deed, even the plat map I printed last year. He sips his gas station coffee, gives me that look, 1 part sorry, 2 parts tired, and says, Brendan, that sure looks like your land. But I can't do much till the county checks for a boundary violation. Knew I'd hear that. Still, I wasn't about to sit around while someone parked a warehouse in my pasture. I'm not looking for a gunfight, Clay, I tell him. But if I see anyone out there with a clipboard, they better have a damn good reason for breathing my air. He just laughs, tells me not to go digging any trenches, promises he'll call zoning, and warns me not to touch a thing. You know how quick those HOA types sue. And he's right. That Woodridge Summit crowd, cookie-cutter houses, plastic smiles, try to tell me once to stop keeping chickens near the border. I told them real politely where they could stick their HOA rules. But this was new. That night, I sit on my porch with binoculars, scanning the warehouse. I spot a caterer's van, a man in a polo hanging balloons, people milling around like it's a party. And there, in the middle, is Karen Van Stein. Blonde bob, sunglasses, heels on gravel, Queen Bee herself, raising a glass of champagne as they cut the ribbon. On my land, celebrating like they own the place. I didn't go down there, not yet, but the lines were drawn. And let me tell you, I barely slept. All night, I saw her toasting that banner, acting like she'd christen a ship she stole right out of my dock. Come sunrise, I'd already printed every scrap of paper proving my landline hadn't moved in 2 decades. Herb shows up, chewing his biscuit, grins at me. You going down there? Damn right I was. I fire up the ATV, roll through the mud just as the last catering van pulls out. Karen spots me, marches over, shoulders back, lips tight. Mr. Hawks, you're trespassing on HOA property. That's rich. I hand her my plat map. This is my land. You're trespassing. She barely glances at it before handing it back, all smug. Our record stayed otherwise. The developer transferred this portion to Woodridge Summit's buffer zone last year. I stare, trying to process the nerve. There is no previous owner. I say, Bought it straight from a bank. She tilts her head, gives me that practiced pity. You're welcome to contest, but our legal team is very thorough. Attorney can send you the file. Meanwhile, some clipboard guy is snapping photos of my ATV like he's prepping for a courtroom drama. I try to keep my voice steady. Remove your building from my land. Now. She laughs, a real open-mouthed, you got to be kidding me laugh. Mr. Hawks, this is ours. If you have concerns, consult your lawyer. I tell her fine, send the papers. She walks off, waves her minion over. I hop back on the ATV, drive away before I say something a judge could quote. By noon, I'm in my kitchen with a stack of deeds and Gina Sanders, my attorney, on speaker. Gina's got a voice like gravel and silk, calm, but sharp enough to leave marks. She tells me to send everything, says if there's a transfer, she'll find it. Either clerical error or someone forged a signature, she says. HOAs love paperwork, but they're terrible at hiding footprints. She puts me on hold, calls zoning. When she comes back, her tone is ice cold. There's a boundary adjustment on file. Your land's partly inside their buffer zone now. Filed last year, with a signature from Robert Grant. I've never heard of the guy. Turns out, neither has Gina. Notary stamps from out of state. That's not right. My blood boils. This isn't a mistake. It's a setup. Gina files a challenge. I spend days pacing the fence, watching that warehouse like it's a tumor. Then comes Wednesday. I hear diesel engines, trucks I don't recognize, parked half in my field. My fence is busted. Guys in hard hats are unloading cable, painting lines in the grass for trenching. I pull up, shout, "Who told you to do this?" Clipboard man, cool as can be, says Woodridge Summit HOA authorized it. We're laying power lines. I snap, this is my land. Nobody asked me. He shrugs. According to our maps, it's HOA buffer. If you have an issue, take it up with our office. The nerve. I pull out my phone, hit record. Everyone off my land. Now, one worker, short, muscular, mad as hell, waves a wrench at me. You try and get someone fired? He grumbles. I am a camera. Say hi to the sheriff. He raises the wrench. I step in, twist it out of his hand, put him on the dirt. Instinct, not anger. The rest freeze. I lay the wrench on my truck, tell them to leave. Then I call the sheriff. Sheriff Bell arrives with deputies. By then, the workers are packing up. I hand Clay the video, show him the busted fence, the spray-painted grass. They're claiming HOA rights of development, he tells me. Not ownership, but it muddies the water. He can't arrest them yet. Let Gina do her job. Get the court order. That's when Karen's SUV pulls up. Heels, sunglasses, arms crossed. I see we have a misunderstanding, she says, all sugar and venom. You're trespassing. The development was approved. I grit my teeth. Step foot on my land again without a court order. The next call's to a federal prosecutor. She smirks. Threats won't help your case. But video evidence will I shoot back. That night, Gina calls. She's filed the injunction. But here's the kicker. Robert Grant's real, lives in Iowa, never sold land to the HOA, but his signature is on the papers. He's willing to testify, she says. Wants to make it right. I nod, staring at the wall, knowing this is bigger than just me. Next thing I know, our county news sites splashing my face across the front page. Local farmer battles, HOA over land dispute, drone photo, boundary map, the works. Reporters start calling, neighbors reach out. Turns out, the HOA tried to pull the same stunt on the Reynolds down the road. Even mowed a wildflower patch claiming community access. This is a pattern, not a fluke. Robert flies in, old cap, binder full of receipts, mad as hell. We meet at the airport. I don't sell what I don't own, he says, shaking my hand. In Gina's office, he lays out every paper. The sale to the bank, the tax receipts, notarized letters. Best paper trail I've ever seen, Gina says. Robert just grins, been sued before. Keep receipts. We film a video, him next to me, saying, my name's on the supposed transfer, but I never sold this land. My signature was forged. This is fraud. That goes viral. County clerk's office gets swamped. The zoning office starts investigating. Then the twist. 2 HOA board members resign. saying they don't trust the leadership. John Mark Ving, my neighbor, tells me he's running for HOA president. He lives outside, but his wife owns a house inside the borders. If I win, this stops. Soon, his signs are everywhere. Integrity, not greed. Let the land speak. Town hall meetings fill up. Residents demand answers. Gina files for an emergency injunction. The judge grants it. The warehouse goes dark. Karen, meanwhile, starts flailing, gives speeches, claims I'm confused about the history of my own property. She hires a PR firm, spreads rumors online. Suddenly, my wife's getting weird DMs. My son's hearing at school we're about to be arrested. Gina calls. They hired a crisis firm. They're trying to bury you. But John Mark's campaign is working. Karen tries to get him disqualified. Fails. Then, someone leaks internal emails. Karen telling a zoning officer to cover the signature discrepancy. That's enough for Gina to file an ethics complaint. Zoning guy gets suspended. Karen spinning out. Board member Sheila Cho brings a recording. Karen panicking, begging her to delay the election. The whole town hears it. That's the final straw. The board calls an emergency election. Karen bows out. John Mark wins by a landslide. First act, freeze all construction, apologize to me, formally, with the board signatures. Then comes court. I sit next to Gina, grass stains on my cuffs, stack of documentation, so thick it could stop a bullet. Karen's there, Navy suit, staring daggers. Judge isn't having any games. Reads the complaint, watches our video, hears Robert's testimony. Robert holds up his receipts, swears he never signed anything. Gina shows the forged notary stamp. Turns out, the notary's license was suspended at the time. The emails come out. Judge says, care to explain that? A mess. Van Stein, her lawyer, tries to squirm, but the picture's clear: fraud, intimidation, illegal construction. The ruling hits like thunder. Warehouse is illegal. Land's mine. Karen gets sentenced 7 years, nearly $500,000 in restitution. I don't cheer, but I look her in the eyes as the bailiff leads her out. 2 weeks later, the trucks come, not to build, but to tear down. I watch with a cold beer and binoculars as every panel comes off, every fence post yanked up. When the last chain link comes down, I feel lighter than I have in months. Robert comes back down for a barbecue. Neighbors from both sides show up, plates piled high. I hand Robert the first brisket. My son asks, will the warehouse come back? I laugh. We put it where it belongs. Where? In the fire pit. He grins. Can I roast marshmallows over HOA lies? Only if you don't burn the truth, kid. That night, I walk the fence line, plan a new sign. Heavy cedar, carved deep, private property. Trespassing ends here. Questions? Ask Karen if you can get visitation. I stand there, breathing in the quiet, and for the first time in a long while, I know my land, my rules, my story. And hey, if you've ever had someone try to steal what's yours, or you've had a run-in with an HOA dictator, drop your story in the comments. Let's see how many of us have drawn a line in the dirt and said, not one damn inch further.